Okay, welcome. This is a recap of Session 2 Into the Abyss Franchise Opportunities, where last session the party was still in the fissure within the city of Telflum, and this session included Bryn, Gralnar, Helmet, Splug, and the new sidekick Doaki, the turtle wizard. So they left off, were in the fissure, and they'd just come upon a large cavern that turned out to be pretty much a trap room. So as they entered into the room, Splug ran ahead first, did not check for traps, and actually he was the first one that got hit by flame trap on each side of the wall here before he fell into a pit trap in here that was filled with some kind of water, some kind of little shiny, shimmering something in the water that slowly started to fill back up with water. Bryn sent their two skeletons. I think a couple of them got hit by the flames at first, while Splug climbed himself out. They figured out how to basically jump over this section of the floor that triggered the fire traps on each side before they made their way further into the trap room, so to speak. As they went into this area here, they realized that there was some kind of like a green dye that covered anybody who triggered the trap in this area. And that's why now you can see the swarm of Raven Spirits, Splug, and Helmet all got blasted by this and are now this annoying, permanent green color. I think Bryn tried to clean it off with either water in here or some kind of water spell or precipitation or gust of wind, but nothing seems to come off. And I think eventually someone in the party, I think it might have been Splug, realized that this is a common practice among those in Telflum that try to mark thieves when they get caught. So once they get out and open, this may be an issue of them be colored green. Anyway, they made it past this, and at the end here was a set of double doors that Splug tried to pick. So they all kind of got up in there, and once Splug actually tried using the key inside the door, I think is when Splug disappeared, and there were more of these green things that broke out. I think Helmet got hit several times. That's why I kind of gave him a purple color here. But Splug actually disappeared. And then the rest of them end up kind of, I think, breaking the door down to get inside the room. And once they got inside the room, they were confronted with these strange looking, well, they weren't strange at first. They walked into a room like a mausoleum and had lots of bodies that were covered up in these wrappings, but they all stood up and started to kind of shamble their way towards everybody. I don't think they ever really put much danger out. They did knock quite a few of them out, but one strange thing I noticed is one of them, I believe it was Gralnar, was about to strike down with his third and final blow on it when he saw almost like a glitch in the Matrix, and the mummy switched back and forth between the mummy-looking thing and Splug. Then they realized that once Splug disappeared, he actually meta-wise became paralyzed and was basically controlled somewhat to look like a zombie. And they hit him several times before they realized that was him. I think they actually got him down to just a few hit points left before they realized that. But in the end, they end up killing them all. I think after the fact, they found a few magic items in here. I don't remember off the top of my head what it was, but I know there were several matching necklaces. Like this is all part of a family mausoleum or tomb. And Splug took each and every last one of those. Oh yeah, there's a health potion in one of them as well that I believe Splug quickly drank without even asking anybody's permission in there. And from there, they headed into some more switchbacks, some more tunnels. They experienced several strange places where they had to decide what direction to go. They saw several traps. One of them was these strange vines that kind of choked out the corridor, but they made it through that relatively easy with minor scratches. Made it past a room with some an acid or a poison pit in the bottom. Yeah, I don't think anyone ever fell into that, but they all made it through pretty easily through all that. A couple times got lost, a couple times got back on the trail, but they eventually came to a large cavern to where I think it was Splug went in first, and it was basically covered with webbings, old dusty webbings on the floor, on the walls, on the ceilings. I took a closer look, and I believe it was Helmet that actually stepped in there and kind of like wiggled around some of the webbing, and somebody noticed some kind of movement further inside in the floor. And I think that with that perception check, they also know there were a couple like cocoons kind of hanging from the ceiling about 15 feet up as well. None of them are moving, but they saw some movement after Helmet messed with the webbing further inside. They took a few more steps in, started getting into the sticky webbing, difficult terrain, to which triggered, much to their, maybe not much to their surprise, two large spiders came tunneling out from some pits in the floor where the webbing was, and they basically got up and flanked Helmet and hit him several times, and Helmet actually went down and was paralyzed. Some more fighting ensued. I think Helmet was pretty much out for most of the fight towards the end. Dwaki used the new spell called Maddening Whispers, which basically locked this guy out and like paralyzed / incapacitated him to where everyone kind of just lined up right up next to him and then just basically waylaid into him and took him out. After that, they kind of did a little bit more searching inside the room. What I've got on the map here, the K and the B, they found a kobold wrapped up in some of the cocoons, and they also found the body of Captain Boot wrapped up in one of these cocoons. These other cocoons actually had more of these similar zombie creatures they fought in the previous one, but these seem to be a little bit more transformed, almost like they were half spider-like. They were crawling on the walls and the ceiling as they came up to attack everybody, but in the end, they pretty much all got taken out. A few people got hurt pretty bad. Well, technically, it was mainly Helmet got hurt pretty bad. It's like Gronar took some damage, but the guys in back stayed relatively safe. Beyond the corridor, they saw more corridor heading off to the west. All the webbing was pretty much contained within this. There were no more of the web zombies came out. All the cocoons that were hanging above the ceiling were opened up by them and during the attack, and they couldn't find any more along that lines. Like they did find some magic items that Captain Boot had, like an antitoxin, some holy water, and maybe a potion between him and the kobold in there. And next session we're picking up from here, and then move further into the west. So that's the recap of Session 2, Into the Abyss, Franchise Opportunities.